Hey everyone, how are we doing tonight? Oh, Lordy. I think the mic's a little high. Alright, so we are gonna watch we're gonna watch some Spurgery tonight. A little bit of Spurgery. Let's see. I know, very professional setup. Very professional setup I got. So, this is Davis's latest stream, and Eldridge fan says, my mother just begged me to vote for Biden and started crying when I wouldn't. I think I've just been disowned, so I could use a lap. Well, that's rough, man. I don't know why you... I'm sorry to hear your mother's retarded, but my condolences. I mean, I've certainly got mommy issues of my own, so not want to talk. But there's a few clips that Arjun put up on the Sigma Supreme channel from this stream that tells me we should watch this stream. Now, I don't know if we're going to get all the way through it. In fact, right off the bat, we're going to 1.25 speed because it's Davis. But there's a few things in here I literally want to comment on because this man is giving advice that will ruin lives if followed. I have no idea. I had the SoundCloud. See, I have no idea what was playing there towards the end. I was playing Nano Squid's music, and then something else came up that I hadn't heard yet. Maybe it's from his channel, but it's like it wasn't showing anything playing on there. I don't know what the fuck it was doing. It's going haywire, and I'm retarded.
Have
and
you
I don't
heard
know what
of
I'm
Jesus?
doing. So we'll see. Eldridge Fans donates $3. Thank you very much. Says make it a funny one. Well, I will certainly try my best. I will certainly try my best. He says she watches too much MSNBC. You gotta get boomers off the fucking TV, period. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. My advice, get your folks to get a Roku and just do streaming services. Because first of all, they'll save a lot of money. I mean, you'll still have to have internet in a lot of areas. That'll be through your cable company. But you won't have to have the cable or the satellite or whatever. And, I mean, each streaming service is like... I mean, each one's less than $10, you know? So think about it, you know, okay, let's say your internet is $100. And then, you know, you get 3 or 4 streaming services. So, you know, round that up to 40. You're doing 140 with tax. It's nothing. Nothing compared to what your average cable and fucking satellite package is. Somebody says, I don't think they know what streaming is. That's what I mean. You got to get them a Roku and set it the fuck up. Like, I assume they have internet, you know. Set it the fuck up and tell them this is better. You get way more content. Spice Weasel says, tell her to vote for Trump or you're going to put her in a nursing home in Detroit. That's harsh. That's harsh. All right, well, we're going to watch some Davis. Because like I said, the clips I've seen of this already, this man is literally giving out advice that will ruin lives if followed. So I feel, if nothing else, it's the old civic duty, as it were, to refute some of this nonsense. So let's go ahead. We're going at 1.25 speed. We might go to 1.5, but for now, this should be good.
Sister F has just heard some very colorful language from me. Closing the application.
I forgot. He's got like a co-host, like off to the fucking side. And, it's, she's just sounds very, very pleasant. Let's put it that way. Oh boy. Is this who you're dating now, Davis?
did not work. Rebooting the phone says I am still streaming with no button to stop streaming, even though I'm clearly not streaming. But rebooting the phone and opening the application and closing the application and opening the application, that worked. For whatever reason, in the eternal wisdom of Dear Girl.
Are you using your
No,
phone
I'm
to...
not going
Oh my god. So Twitch.
somebody says, I thought Meatloaf was... Oh my god, his eyes. Every time he takes his sunglasses off, you realize why he wears his sunglasses all the time. But no, folks, Meatloaf is not apparently his permanent co-host. He's brought this girl, who's apparently live in prestigious Davis Arini Studios, just off camera. My God, you look like Steve Buscemi.
Their new community safety man, whatever they call these assholes that police your speech, it's a trans girl who's a deer furry, right? Like we are so close. We might already be at the point where you not only have to respect their gender pronouns, you also have to respect their species.
Yeah.
And they were going on about how. Oh my goodness! Actually, this kind of relates to the first topic.
It does.
It does.
I thought you did that on purpose.
I did not.
Wow, look at you, skills.
I don't know. Just better to be lucky than smart. So that she was going on and on about the white male hetero privilege of having a voice on teen play video games.
Okay.
Right? Because you know like all those oppressors with their microphones.
We should start a hashtag to get these whores out of video games.
So the first thing I ran
He's
into,
so stuck in
this is absolutely
2014.
fascinating. It was an article. It was this is so weird. There's a black screen, but I am seeing comments. That's all that matters.
Okay, great.
So they did this study about how different players on an online game treated a female voice that joined them. And what they found was that the unskilled players reacted very negatively to a woman being around, while the skilled players were actually very welcoming.
Why do you think that is?
This is absolutely fascinating. And of course,
Yes,
what's
I'm
the immediate
fascinated.
response? The very first comment I read is like, "Oh, this proves how fragile the male ego is." Like,
When the unskilled players were rejecting women?
so that's the thing. The women, first of all, they focus in on somebody was rude to a woman. Men are it's like wait. Yeah, the low skilled were rude, but the highly
Yeah, I'm sure the unskilled players just talk a lot of shit, period.
skilled were welcoming. So it's actually both groups
Yeah.
are reacting differently. So it's not just this group that's reacting differently. The default is not, yay, somebody showed up, Default with me is get the fuck off my porch.
Yeah, I just think that people are not used to not being liked. People in general, but like in this case, obviously we're talking about women, but and I am one. But I think that I've suffered from discrimination for my whole life, so I got used to it. But some other people,
She suffered from discrimination, chat. She's got a lot of discrimination. Place your bets. You think she's? I get a vibe that she's Latinx, shall we say? That would be my bet if I was placing bets.
have it. And I understand what you're saying is that it might not be a bad problem. Or it's not discrimination that the guy just said that. Perhaps it's insecurities. You know what I mean? Maybe it's
Well,
like,
here's the
I
thing,
don't want,
though.
I don't want a girl because it's like, I'm all.
Hey, John's not gonna like it if you're dating outside your race, Davis.
Because it's gonna be a girl
She might put a
and
curse on you.
Be better than me. Fuck that. That's insecurity. That's not.
Not insecurity.
Okay, I mean, and perhaps that's the case. And if that's the case, then why are you already assuming that-
Distinction? Insecurity would be, that's a psychological problem, right? Like if you've got a small dong, right? You've got a mental issue, you're always just inadequate, you need to overcompensate, whatever. This was low skill at a video game. Presumably, and that's the thing.
What would overcompensating look like, Davis? Would it look like, I don't know, always feeling the need to portray a 14-year-old's version of masculinity to everybody by drinking and smoking all the time and talking about how you should beat people up who insult you? And I'm just spitballing what that sort of overcompensation might look like. I mean, I don't know, maybe feeling the need to talk about how you drive a manual transmission like a real man or something. just some thoughts. I'm just wondering what forms the overcompensation might manifest in.
That's the only correlation, is low skill at this video.
Hypothetically speaking.
And so, first of all, it's not gamers that hate women. Like, the guys that are really good at it, the real pro gamers, like the woman around. And these people that are low skill at the video game, pound for pound, guys that are bad at video games tend to be better at life.
Okay.
Or maybe not. I don't know.
So I mean, going with that, okay,
It's not. It's not hang-ups. It's low status. Right?
Right.
Okay, so but they're better at life if they suck at games. So
That's what I'm saying. It's
higher.
It's just their status in the video game. That's the only thing that matters.
Correct.
So it's any hierarchical organization. The men at the top are going to welcome women in because, oh, the women are showing up. Sweet, I get some pussy, right? The boss is going to get some pussy.
Sure.
Maybe not literally, but
in the video game, that's obviously not the case.
but psychologically it is. I mean, we treat all environments as the ancestral environment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Dunbar's unit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So even though a video game, it's woman there, men are just programmed. If we're high status, we want the women around us, right? We know we're going to get something.
Okay.
If you're low status, right? And that's the thing. If you go to different
When a woman
environments,
comes in, you don't want the woman?
well, because number one, you're not going to get laid. You're low status.
Yeah, but she
We all know those top tier Call of Duty players just swim in the pussy.
gets into the team.
And number
She's
two,
already there.
she's going to be given an unfair advantage over you. So rather than you having an opportunity to earn status, like the guys start out at level 1.
Mm-hmm.
Women always start out at level 6.
Sure.
Because the top
That's
guys.
why I say insecurities. That's what I meant.
Well, is it insecure?
Because you're already low. You're not good at this shit. So now you gotta go compete against women, and if these women are better than you, then that's like shit. I must suck.
What if the woman is worse than you?
Yeah, but that's not.
But
the
she's
case.
still
You
no.
just said- you just-
She probably is worse than the other
it doesn't
players.
matter,
But she gets promoted to level 6.
Sure.
Forney in the chat says he's full of shit. Talented pro video game players generally tend to have their shit together. I don't know. I mean, have you seen the Melee players? I'm just saying. I mean, maybe other games it's different. Just saying.
So, like, I show up with a PhD, I get $20 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
She shows up with a bachelor's and a woman voice, she gets $25 an hour. So now I'm going to have to do her work and my work, and I'm not going to get appreciated for it. And that's the instinct. And I was thinking about this. Now, one of the problems.
That's what women have been complaining about in the feminism movement, right?
Oh, God, they've been complaining because.
They're complaining that if we're doing the same, like,
women don't do the same
if
job.
I have a PhD and I'm better than this dude, but this dude has a.
Why is this your co-host, Davis?
That's what they're complaining about.
Why is this your co-host? You don't have any chemistry with her. You don't agree with her. You don't. You're not capable of really having entertaining arguments because you get so defensive and bitchy. Why is this your co-host? Are you fucking her, Davis? Is that why? You know you don't have to let her do your fucking show, right? You know, one woman that I was seeing literally was in the room with me one Saturday when I did the show, and she just shut up. You know, she asked to borrow my Game Boy and box full of games, and was sitting there playing what the fuck? I don't remember what the hell she was playing. I want to say it was Wario Land, but I don't remember. I'm feeling like it was Wario Land, but not important. My autistic brain getting sidetracked there. Point is, she just like, oh, okay, well, you know, because we wanted to hang out some more. And I was like, look, I do got to do my show. She's like, well, why don't I just, you know, hang out and stay out of your way while you do your show? And then, you know, then we hang out some more. And that's what we did. So, like, Davis, if you're seeing this girl, you don't actually have to let her fucking co-host. I don't know why you would possibly think that's a good idea. I can't imagine.
That is
actually complaining for
Peterson.
For the same degree or whatever level, the guy gets paid more.
But Peterson he's presented the evidence. This is completely explained by disagreeableness.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Now, the thing is that women don't acknowledge that they have a major advantage because people like women way better than men. So, if a man and woman, like in a sales, humans just like women better.
Yeah, but not if they're military, right?
Well, actually, this is why you don't want women in the military because it screws up morale, right?
So yeah, that's not a good. So it screws up morale, meaning
that
not everybody loves women.
All of the privates and corporals who are going to be on the front lines dying, they're pissed off that she's here because they're the bad video game players. Whereas the officers and the sergeant majors and the sergeants, they're going to love having the women around. We love women.
Mm-hmm.
So now, instead of having a tightly knit hierarchical organization where people follow orders and get shit done, you have a woman that's bumped up to the mid-tier who's completely incompetent, but the leadership loves having her around because, tips. And you have a whole bunch, all the soldiers that are supposed to be doing the fighting are pissed off and resentful that this woman that's completely incompetent at the job keeps getting promoted.
Mm-hmm.
So corporals hate women in the military.
Mm-hmm.
High-level guys love women in the military.
Okay.
Because we just like to be, every guy wants to be around women.
Chad says, seems like he's trying to smash, and I don't mean melee.
If I'm the leader of a martial arts club, then all the women in the club are going to look up to me. I'm the alpha male, right? But if I'm one of the guys just starting out and I'm working really hard, well, I'm going to be pissed off because the women will get all the attention, and I have to work twice as hard to do that.
Yeah.
And the thing is, like, you were like a... The funny thing here. So, I tend to be, in most environments, not all, right? Some environments, you're the alpha. Some environments, you're like the beta follower, whatever.
He's going to say it.
Me pointing that
he's going to say he's the alpha in most environments.
Disrupt communication between the upper and lower. Sounds like me hating on the women like one of the low status guys.
Mm-hmm.
So even talking about this makes you sound low status.
Mm-hmm.
And because you're making an argument that the low status would make, there's going to be a whole bunch of people that they're not low status because they're young. They're low status because they're freaking losers that glom onto you, right?
You mean followers?
You mean like, say, a 40-year-old unemployed alcoholic? For just hypothetically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're like the whole...
So you don't want, are you saying you don't want followers that are low status?
Well, this is kind of what happened to the whole red pill, manosphere, all of that, is that people were orchestrating these arguments.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason, at least the guys that started off, is we're looking at this saying, whoa. We need men to work and sacrifice for civilization.
Correct.
And yeah, really cool. Having women in the workplace, it's nifty. But if having women in the workplace completely negs out all of the guys that are starting out, which is exactly what's happened, you're not going to have a society for very long, right? Like these...
No, I agree 100%. I think we're exaggerating a little bit. Like, I think that there might be like a minority of women out there that really want to be playing with the boys in corporate America or wherever. But I think that once that happens, like who's at home taking care of those kids? Because really, like, if everybody's going to be at work and like fighting and trying to be at the top, so like there's no more family formation. Like that doesn't work anymore. And you have a bunch of dudes that start becoming like depressed about life because of the competition with women. Like it gets a little ridiculous. Like it's the
we don't know how to compete with women properly.
Yeah, and we don't communicate the same way. We don't even understand the game the same way. So like the rules of the game are not the same for both groups. So like how are you even in this game together?
Well, and you know what? A boss that has a bunch of young men, he's going to yell at them, "Come on, you faggots, do it!" He's not going to say that to a woman. And it's not even that he's trying to be HR correct. No, just instinctually.
Yeah.
We're not going to
Not as
treat a
hard.
girl the same as a guy.
Sure, you're not going to be as hard.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are, then that becomes a problem. The woman feels it's uncomfortable, and HR comes in, and it's just Yeah, I think it's to me. I always think I work with men most of my life.
It gets
I
better.
Just felt like when
It
you're
gets
out
better,
there,
guys.
if you don't like the way they talk, you could also leave. I
You
guess to
never
me,
got in their way.
It's never been like, oh no, everybody's got to change because I'm here. No, it's like I know what you guys do, how you talk. So I'm gonna go out there and speak your language. Like to me, it's literally saying if I'm immigrating in Tokyo, or like let's say in France, then I'm gonna speak French. Like you know what I mean? That's I'm going there to do that. If I'm immigrating in America, I'm gonna speak English. I'm not gonna say, hey guys, speak my language. Like,
So you're saying you're not a fan of Menchie?
who?
Our extremely arrogant mayor.
Oh shit! I always forget this. I'm not from here, guys. But
I'm
yeah,
shocked.
Sure.
I could spend a whole day just hating him.
Don't do that. That's a lot of wasted energy. Like I really don't feel like wasting our energy on hating people is like gonna take us to the next step. Like this, and we're all gonna die. Like if we're not trying to find a way to work together, and as opposed to just complain about each other and like coming up with some new shit that doesn't make sense, like new pronouns. Like yo, we got a lot of work to do. So can we just like stop the waste of energy on some silly shit?
God, she
What
sucks.
happened? Like,
God.
It's-
Oh my God,
really
Davis.
be communicating to young women.
Okay. I'm gonna speculate here. Did you pick her because you thought she was dumb enough to make you look good? Was that the line of thinking there? Because otherwise, I mean, or are you just trying to fuck her? Is it just that simple? And you think it's gonna endear her to you that she comes on your podcast to talk to 10 people? By the way, generally, when I am seeing a woman, I don't let her know about this shit. I don't talk about this shit because it's a stupid thing to like make it sound like you're bragging about it. You know, like, I'll have you know I'm a big shot. Like, who cares? You know, even if you have like 100,000 views per video, like who cares? Nobody cares. And also, the only time I bring it up when I am seeing a girl, I do kind of eventually bring it up because, you know, eventually a chick might Google your name. And I kind of want to diffuse that and be like, look, you know, I do this little thing, a couple extra bucks. It's a creative outlet, but you got to remember it's a show. You know, things are a bit exaggerated sometimes, you know, so I'm not necessarily, you know, screaming obscenities all the time or something like that. But by and large, you know, why the fuck? Like I said, the one girl I was seeing, we were hanging out, and I told her why, you know, I had to cut it short, and she was like, "Oh, I'll just hang out while you're," but like, I can't wrap myself around like what you're thinking here with this. I don't know.
Is that the most important thing a woman can do? Is have children with the right man.
Yeah.
Not a man that's going to leave you or that you're going to leave him. Not the dumb, good-looking guy. Not the bad criminal guy.
So these guys should not have partners?
No.
How would that work in the equation there?
Well, this is why I believe in the death penalty.
What did you say?
Oh, death penalty.
What?
Like, this is like the whole European experiment. We spent 1,000 years killing our murderers, right?
Okay.
And it's like violent crime rates in Europe 1,000 years ago through the frickin' roof, right? And we destroyed we eugenicized all of that, right? And that's the thing is like when a woman picks a man to be with, to have children, we've turned sex into this. It's like a sport that takes somebody else to play with you, right? It's a two-person sport. No, it's not. It's not there for fun. It is fun. Eating is fun, but you don't
Eat every day, all day.
Yeah.
Gotta do other stuff.
And the thing is, like, we have all these women. I want to contribute. I want to have a career. Listen, 99% of the work that you've seen these corporations. Like 70% of the work they're doing is a complete waste of time. It's just a make work program, so we have to keep people employed.
I really just don't get this mentality, and it's not just the Catholics, although the Catholics are the worst at it. That just the end all and be all of existence is to breed. You know, you get it primarily from the religious circles, and ironically enough, it's a very Darwinian perspective. Like, yes, most people would be happy having children, and it's it's obviously important, but I mean, there's just 7 billion motherfuckers on this planet. We ain't on the verge of extinction. Like, some of you don't have to.
The economy goes, it's very rare to meet somebody that's going to contribute so much to the universe by having a job.
Sure, exactly. I 100% believe that.
Now, raising a decent human being, raising the next generation. I mean, the only reason that we even bother having jobs is to raise the next generation.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I actually think that there's a lot of value in being a mother, and I think we're making it seem like, oh, that's so easy, that's just so low.
Is that why you don't have a job, Davis? Because you're not raising the next generation? Is that why? just wondering.
If you're a staying-at-home mom, you're not valued like a CEO of a company. Like, that to me is ridiculous. Like, it makes no sense whatsoever. So if you don't make that sexy again, to like be a staying-at-home mom and taking care of these kids, then we're just gonna end this whole thing.
There was an article. Sorry, not an article. This is something that Peterson was discussing. That's why I got into his whole deep dive on Peterson today.
Mm-hmm.
And did you know that having a father in the picture halves the rate of ADHD?
I actually did not know that. It does not surprise me at all.
And do you know what it is that does it? Roughhousing.
Okay.
So he was talking with another psychologist. They've done a bunch of research on
You
this.
know the name of the other psychologist?
I forget. I can send you the link. I posted on Facebook, guys. My Twitter has been taken away because I was criticizing a UN employee for abusing children.
What?
And that was endangering children.
Davis isn't on Twitter anymore?
Yeah, I'm not going to delete the frickin' tweet. That guy's the child molester, right? Anyway, so I'm fighting it, but it's going to be like probably 2 weeks before I get the stupid thing back. I'm not going to say, okay, I'm sorry I offended you, UN child molester. No, I'm not doing that. Just kill my Twitter instead.
Oh, I guess he just got suspended.
About what Peterson was saying.
Roughhousing.
Well, yeah.
Now, roughhousing, like, first of all, it's a playtime, it's a reward, and all mammals have this playtime, this reward.
You and me,
secondly,
baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
The father helps the kids establish where the line is in roughhousing, right? And Peterson was talking about doing this with kids, like 20 years ago when you were allowed to as a man, right? Kids at a daycare. And often, the kids that didn't have fathers, they would start crying when something surprised them, right? And he gave like an example, if you're tossing a kid in the air, but then you intentionally don't catch them, but they land on the bed, right? And
So, I mean, like, you didn't have a father, did you? Well, I don't know. Was your stepdad around or not? I don't know your situation. But I'm just wondering if maybe that's why, like, you can't take criticism or anything like that. I'm just wondering, just thinking out loud.
And it's surprising, but it teaches the lesson. You know, sometimes surprising things happen, but you can live through them.
It also teaches you not to trust.
And you know what? Everybody makes
Fuck that.
everyone makes mistakes. Even your dad. Sometimes he doesn't catch you, right? And that's okay.
Yeah.
And so this playtime, it's a reward. And then the father will say, okay, that's enough roughhousing for now. We can, you know what, time to do your homework. And then we can play later. And and he said something brilliant. The question is not, why does ADHD exist, right? The propensity to get distracted by things that are interesting. Why does not ADHD exist? So the question isn't, why does addiction exist? Addiction exists because it's awesome. You want some black tar heroin? It's awesome.
Addiction exists because there's a lot of pain. I mean, the reason for the addiction, for the...
It's amazing how she doesn't understand the points he's making, but still chimes in. Like, that why did you pick her? What is going on with you, Davis?
The bigger question, though.
That's an issue for me because it kind of connects a little bit with what you're saying. I think that we're bringing more pain in this world by doing things upside down just for the fun of it. By being misaligned, it's more pain and also more addiction to try to soothe from this fucking pain and depression or whatever that people are into now. Like, it's crazy. It's everywhere. So yeah, I just want to add that because it goes together when you bring the concept of addiction to it. This is what our society is dealing with.
Well, even that.
Shut up, woman. God, Davis.
When we start doing these drugs. And
That's the thing. Addiction
She's so terrible.
Like, if we didn't have soul, if we were just material beings, addiction should be automatic. Tastes good, I'm going to eat more. And yet we find that people don't like being addicted to things, and the ones that are in pain.
No, they don't like the pain. They'd rather not have to
Well,
do
and
the thing that
if they weren't in pain, they'd kick the addiction, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. That's weird. Shouldn't they be addicted? Shouldn't we all be addicted? I mean, heroin's fucking sweet.
Yeah, but I mean, I see what you're saying.
I've only done opioids at the hospital. Just for the record. I did some sweet opioids. Then my buddy had these muscle relaxants. We were like out working, and he gave me one of those. We're in the hotel room, like, oh man, I'm melted. This is awesome.
Your buddy gave you a muscle relaxant. Did he now? That way you got nice and loosened up for him. I'm sorry, folks. I just can't help it. He sets me up.
But that's the thing. Like, that should be, like, everybody should be doing heroin all the time because it feels so good.
No, but you should be high on life every day, but you're not.
We would rather not do heroin. That's the weird thing. You see what?
Why is it weird?
Because we should just, like, given the option, you can have a healthy meal with vegetables, or you can have a...
God, she's so stupid. Like, how is she not getting this point here? He's, like, look, Davis doesn't always make his point that well, but, like, he's making it perfectly clear here. He's saying that the fact that we don't want to be addicted to things, the fact that we want to be better is indication that there's a spiritual element to us. Whether you agree with that argument or not, that's obviously what he's saying. You know, shouldn't we all just want to be on heroin because heroin's fun? Who cares? I get what he's saying here, but she doesn't. She has no fucking idea what the hell he's talking about. And for once, it's not really his fault, aside from the fact that he picked a retard as a co-host.
Bucket full of sugar. We should all default to it. Like, sugar tastes so much better than vegetables.
What if a decent meal makes you high, makes you happy? Because that's what a state of health, and the real state of health is being high on life. But what you're saying, but people right now are not healthy. So,
what I'm saying is that being distracted by shit. Who wants to sit and, pull out a textbook and read a textbook for 3 hours? Nobody wants to do that. But people do that all the time.
Yeah.
That's weird. So the fact that a kid doesn't want to study, he wants to run around and oh, look at that shiny thing over there. That should not be surprising. What's surprising is when a kid says, you know what, I want to be distracted, but I'm going to do this instead. That's weird. I mean, it's what makes us human, but...
Following the rules. Doing what you're told to do.
God, she's so dumb! She's so dumb!
We're pursuing. And that's the same thing. Rather than just be high on heroin, we want to do something genuine.
Yeah, but I mean, like, okay, well, you're saying a lot of things.
No, he's really not.
Right before... Okay, so I already forgot. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. You already forgot. No, he's not saying a lot of things. He's saying a very basic point here. That if you'd shut up for a minute and think about what he said, you might fucking grasp it. Oh my God, I gotta sit here and defend Davis a little bit. But no. You just are not understanding what he's saying, and what he's saying is not fucking weird this time. Whether you agree or not, he's making a very basic point here. A very graspable point. And it's obviously something he heard Jordan Peterson say, as everything he says is something he's regurgitating. He is a human Xerox, after all. But no, like, you dumb woman.
Well, it's weird. I just think the way that Peterson flips it on its head.
No, but like, the two last arguments you're giving here. Well, what we should be doing.
Well, first of all, women need to get...
Yeah, he just got up, Chad.
That's not fair. I say that. I mean, I don't say that. But I don't say that. I don't really just say that about women. I say that about everybody. Just groups. Like, just stay in your lane. Just like know your lane and then stay in your lane. Men be men. Don't try to be a woman. Don't do that thing. That doesn't make sense. Women don't try to be a man. Just be a woman. It doesn't make sense. Like, just let's understand what being a man means and understand what being a woman means, and let's just do that shit like in harmony.
That's a good point, Forney. Wouldn't an alpha have the lady get him a drink? Just saying. Like, come on, sweetie. You're off camera anyways. Make yourself fucking useful. You're obviously not getting the fucking point I'm making, so why don't you just go... If you can't get the point, why don't you get me a drink? I'm just saying, wouldn't that be the alpha move?
That's on the same beat. Do it.
We need to disabuse ourselves of this notion that the sexes are interchangeable. I mean, even if... First of all, there's psychological profiles, on average, between the sexes are significantly different, right?
for good reasons that potentially Peterson talks about.
I would say they're about as different.
That's right,
like,
Chad
if you just
Davis
take
is
men
a
and women
clear ladies'
as,
man.
As groups, they're roughly as different as siblings are from one another,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you're not going to treat every one of your kids the same way. They're going to have
Well, most
different
parents do,
personalities.
but yeah.
Well, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
You should pay attention
But
to your
there's a
kids.
reason why they think they could just do one size fit all. Like at some point, for parents, everybody has to go to work. They don't have a lot of time to get this shit done. So they come back home and they're like, "Yo, one size fit all. That's it." But if we had a
I know, Chad. I too am getting the.
with these kids, then they would have a little bit more time to figure out. Well, little John.
I'm gonna
okay,
mute
so
her for a
then,
second.
Little Tina.
I too am getting the impression she's either Hispanic or Filipino.
Nobody wants to take care of these people.
Can
These little people that
I
are
tell you
trying to
a
become
pet peeve of
alphas.
mine?
What?
Walk a mile in her shoes. You know how they make men wear high heels and walk around?
That's ridiculous.
It's like, listen, nobody told you ladies you had to wear high heels. I have never once told a woman what to wear. Actually, no, once. I said to you, you should bring some hiking boots. I don't even really like high heels that much in a woman. I like sexy boots,
I
okay?
don't know. I mean, maybe you need to do a live poll on your audience here. As a woman, I think that high heels are hella sexy. I don't wear them myself because they hurt like a lot. But I do understand.
Yes, high heels are very, very sexy. Because it makes you tone your butt as you walk. So, you know.
I'm sure.
Do you know what they do?
I'm sure that's kind of sexy.
The high heel mimics the position of a woman in a state of lust.
Well, great. So then
So
that's why
it's-
guys want to see that. So women are trying to
It's like
demonstrate that.
if we devolved from baboons instead of chimpanzees, we would be putting like a little, instead of blushing their cheeks, we'd be blushing them. That's what I. But yeah, they look sexy. I like sexy boots. Okay, I mean, because I wear boots.
But it's not, I mean, like, yeah, women do that to attract guys, and women that say that they don't, they're just silly.
Chad says Hispanic or Filipino, it's their culture to serve men. Yeah, but like it's also in their culture to want to shit test the fuck out of you because man's got to be strong and all this other bullshit. Like, yeah, a Hispanic woman or a Filipino woman, I mean, just culturally, you can be a fucking handful. You know. And that's obviously a generalization. I mean, I've dealt with Hispanic women that weren't like that at all, but generally speaking, that's what their culture leans them towards. So he says, any others think Davis is banging this woman? I think Davis is trying.
I mean,
You know what?
or
It's-
attract the sex that you're into, I guess, whatever that is.
Here's the
I
thing,
mean,
you're trying
part
to-
of me wants to say he's banging her because, like, I don't, like, the amount of shit she gives him in this stream. Like, imagine taking that amount of shit from a woman that isn't emptying your balls. I just...
attract a guy. Who's your enemy?
The other women.
Exactly. So women, and so this is people. They just want things to be simple.
I don't wear makeup for men. I wear makeup for my confident bitch.
It's like, no, you're wearing makeup to be hotter than that bitch over there.
Or men, therefore.
Yes. So it's even if you're married or you're just
We all want to be like, look, I think we all have this instinct to like form a family and make them kids. And so especially like when you're in your 20s, 30s, maybe at some 40s when you get closer to menopause, not being able to reproduce, maybe that switches off and it's something else. But during that whole time, it's like, yo, I'm just trying to make sure
Who's
that
messaging me?
I could catch a guy. And,
God,
like,
shut up.
I mean, because
Even if you're not
there's a
looking
time
for a
bomb,
guy.
it's like a deadline. It's like then it's a competition since the moment that you could actually reproduce, 12 years old, until like you could no longer do this shit. But I said, I mean, not even
we are in a
40
competition.
years old.
We're in a competition with one another for power
Yeah.
and social status.
Yeah.
And part of social status is sex appeal. So if you got some dude who like he's a millionaire but he's walking around in a frumpy suit that doesn't fit properly, you know, other people are like, "Look at that guy." Even though he's like 50 and he's married and he's not trying to find, he looks like a dork.
Yeah.
And the same thing, so it's this.
I'm sorry, I wasn't listening to Davis real quick. Argent has a video up. Sorry, I gotta mute him. Argent has a video where, you know that Roosh article I covered a while back where Roosh talks about how fornicators are just like homosexuals, and that article was gross and made me sad. Argent did a breakdown of that too on YouTube. So when you're done with this stream, you all should check that out. That was just sad. That made me feel really bad for Roosh. Like God, like this is how you fucking were. But anyways, I'm sorry, Davis. You were saying. I'll go ahead and unmute you.
You know, the peahen starts saying, "I kind of like that big shiny tail."
There's this
And
the Sigma
so
Supreme
it's getting
in the
bigger
chat.
and bigger and bigger and bigger. And so, a woman wearing sexy shoes, right? It's like subtle, but it's really a powerful signal.
Yes, it is.
And
I mean, the hips change,
so-
the way you walk changes, which is a lot more about sex appeal, and like we see your hips are accentuated as a woman. So it's like, yes, it's a mating ritual.
They spent like 5 minutes talking about how high heels make you look sexy. No shit. No shit, Davis. No shit, Davis and Mrs. Davis. Whatever the fuck your name is. Oh. That's some cutting edge hot fucking takes. Oh Lord.
I mean, that's what it is.
but you get an arms race that goes crazy. So first it's here, and then it's here, and then it's here, and you're all one up, and eventually it just gets so uncomfortable that you have to go down again.
I mean,
But
because you have to go down, because now you're no longer walking with the hips moving. You're just trying to not fucking fall. So that's not sexy anymore. So there's a level where it's too much, and there's some professionals out there that could do.
Lord. It just goes on. It does get better. There is stuff to analyze later, but Lord. Oh boy.
Very, very high.
and you know what? It's going to be right at the point where it is. Oh goodness, I didn't mute this, did I? Right, it's going to be right at the point where it is uncomfortable, but not so uncomfortable. It's like the pain threshold, and it's women driving this. Yes, they're doing it for men.
Exactly. Oh, this is exactly the point. I feel like at the beginning, all these things, everything we're talking about was for the mating, for like to find a guy, and then eventually it became just women doing this just for them. But it's like, okay, so this is when the system is out of whack. Now you're just doing this out of vanity. Like it's no longer for a purpose of finding a mate. It's like
No, Chad. No, David Serini, the Supreme
just
Sigma.
wanted-
I have not gotten to the Batman part yet. We will definitely. There's a lot to unpack when we get around that section. For now, we're just plowing through. I'm only like half listening too. It's like fucking white noise at this point. Oh God, the talking never stops with her. Oh, boy. You ever have like a girlfriend, where when you're chilling together at your place or her place or whatever, or maybe it's been long enough that it's both at your place or whatever, where you just sort of chill and like you don't feel the need to to yammer on, to entertain each other anymore. You just sort of like, you might not even be doing the same thing. Like maybe you're playing a video game and she's reading, or she's watching a movie and you're doing whatever. You know what I mean? Oh, it just, the yammering, the constant yammering, just made me think of the like the contrast of that versus the peace when you have a nice, when you have a nice rhythm going in a relationship, that kind of thing. Like, oh God, it just made me yearn for not hearing the constant fucking yammering of this woman. Like, look at Davis. Like, look at her. Like, oh God, he's like, God, she won't shut up. Like, it's like, I just want to fuck her. God, why won't she shut up? I don't know what to tell you, Davis. I mean, is she hot? Like, okay, she's not on camera, but that doesn't mean she's not hot. I mean, she might just not want to come on fucking camera. Like, Davis, is she at least hot that you're putting up with this? Like, what are you doing?
There's no more like reproduction and grouping purpose. It's just freaking vanity. That's it.
Do what it is. It's tragedy of the commons. Because, all right, let's say we go back to 1950, right? And you got the male space and you got the female space. Now, if you are an intelligent, good-looking woman, you want to maximize your opportunity. You want the frickin' top alpha billionaire dude.
Yeah.
If you can break into the male space, you're like a fox in the hen house.
I have the prime food, yeah.
But if all the women break into the male space,
Don't work.
you destroy the men.
Well, you destroy the men, and also women in there, they're very catty. They don't like because they're thinking
So,
there's only
yeah.
like one
Shut
girl
up.
working there. We can't be all like working there. I mean, I'm talking about like corporate America. You're working the tech industry.
Talks and she
It's all
talks
about-
and she
I find that
talks
women
and she
they
says nothing.
They fight with each other because it's like, yo, there's only a place for one woman, or like a low number of women. There's that also happening. So I think that when you get to
You're back at square one.
when you get back to that point, you forgot the purpose of like, why are we here, guys? We're here to reproduce. Like, you guys fighting for this shit makes no sense. Like, cause now like they forget the reason why they're here in the first place.
Now, if you had, now, like, imagine you're a parent, right?
God.
And so as a father, I want to train my kids to fight.
Mhm.
Now, I want all of them to learn how to fight, but it's more important for the men to learn how to
Of
fight.
course, and defend the women.
So, like, I'm gonna love all my kids, but when it comes time to, training them in, karate and all that, I'm separating the sexes.
Yeah.
Right? Because I know that they're not gonna hit their sisters as hard as they'll hit their brothers.
Dude's gonna train them all he's gonna train them in the ways of the blade.
It's like, no, it'd be, the sisters would get better training fighting their brothers, but the brothers are the ones that really need to learn it.
Sure.
And so this is why you need a patriarch, a king that says, here's the commons, we are going to share this so we don't overgraze it.
And I think it's the same thing for mothers. Mothers should take their kids and like teach them how to cook, all of them. But for guys, yeah, it's for survival. If you can't find a girl because you're like just not good at that, then you still need to learn how to feed yourself. So because that's survival. So let me teach you a few things. They're the basics. And the woman is like, oh, you need to make sure that the people that you have in your home are satisfied. And if little Timmy has an allergy, you need to switch that up real quick. Figure out how you make that
Well,
work.
and have you heard the saying, the way to a man's heart is through his
I
stomach?
mean, come on, everybody knows this thing, yeah.
And it is so true. Here, men are...
By the way, what I'm saying is not necessarily. I don't think this is exactly. That's not exactly what Peterson is saying. Because I'm definitely more like women stay in your lane, men stay in your lane, and I'm just gonna say. I don't know if I said it last time. I'm an engineer, so it's not like I'm saying, oh, I'm a staying at home mom. Therefore, I just want everybody to be like.
We're all hypocrites.
I don't have kids, and I want kids, but this is not like. I'm not talking about my reality is such that I want everybody to have that same reality. I'm just thinking about what I think would be better in this society. That's what I'm saying. It has nothing to do with my personal reality, and it is not. And that part is not inspired by Peterson at all, because I don't necessarily think that he thinks about it that way. But yeah, I just wanted to put it out there because we talked about the fact that we are talking about this topic.
I'm sorry, I legitimately wasn't listening to her there. I was trying to find a voice clip. I don't know. I got it on my phone. I don't know if it'll play properly, but.
You're talking, but no one is listening.
Just the Adam Sandler voice clips from the old Zagat SNL bits. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh lordy. It just goes on. She's so awful.
That these are our opinions, separately, and not Jordan Peterson's opinion.
Well, and I wish that... I better make it so I can see the screen again. Because I don't want it to stop. There, it's still transmitting. I don't trust this thing.
Sorry, I interrupted you.
Oh, no, that's fine. We also need to just, like, honest to God, like, explain to girls it's okay to be a girl.
Yeah.
And it's okay that guys are guys, and you know what? Sometimes trust your husband. I know he's...
Yeah, but I mean, so if we're all messed up like that, I truly believe that, like, the 1% understand how to mess people up so that you can so you can more easily control them. I think that the messaging that women
Let me go
get,
to the washroom quickly. Keep talking.
the messaging
No,
that
please,
women
don't.
get typically is about, do STEM, you could be like a boy, you could do, they don't say you could be like a boy, but they say you can do whatever you want, and it's great to hear about it and to think about it that way, but so there's going to be a void somewhere. And that void needs to be somewhat kind of fixed. We need to have somebody there to take care of the new generation. That is an important role. We complain about how crazy the world is, but in reality, it's like, well, yeah, we're not taking the time to raise these children.
The mouth
Like,
just goes. It
obvious
goes.
today, even if I didn't make a decision to have children in my life, but I'm realizing today that it's an important role because as well, like I manage people, I manage kids, young adults, sorry, and it was interesting to see.
How does she talk so much and say nothing?
And I understand how important the education they're going to receive from their parents or the presence, just the presence of their parent in the home. That could have changed a lot. So, anyways, just my opinion on again.
Oh God, it just goes on.
Well, you know what, man? It's one of the things that drives me nuts about the culture that you and I grew up with
Mm-hmm.
is everybody's a special snowflake.
Yeah.
Everybody's an exception.
I don't need to follow the rules. I'm different from anybody.
You know what, dude? Yeah, everybody's a snowflake.
But
Like I don't know, somebody who thinks they should be king of Canada and they're above having a real job. Just for example.
you know, I blame it on technology. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, it's more than that. It's like you start
this-
with the role, right? And it's like, listen, Andy, right?
You're correct.
Fantastic cook, amazing cook, right? Men can cook too. Welcome to the current year. Men can cook. Yeah,
I'm just gonna go out there and say it. Men are better cooks than women. 9 times out of 10. 9 times out of 10. Like women cooking, it's like a utilitarian thing. Like they cook for their family and stuff. But like men cook, it's fucking art. Okay? There's a reason most of the chefs, most of your top tier chefs are gonna be men. Alright? Like let me put it this way, chat. Chat, if you're not on board with me here on the men are better cooks. It's summer, right? It's summer right now. It's August. So let's say this weekend, right? You get invited to a cookout. You know, somebody you know invites you to a big old cookout. He's like, oh man, there's gonna be chicken and hot dogs and fucking hamburgers. It's gonna be great. We're gonna it's just gonna be amazing, right? And you get there, and the fucking woman is running the grill. You're gonna just excuse yourself. Get the fuck out of there, aren't you? Like I'm gonna be like, well, this is a waste of fucking time. Like 9 times out of 10, men are better cooks. And yes, chat, she is very, very annoying. And don't worry, we will get to the good stuff shortly. There is stuff that is really, really worth commenting on in this stream, but we just have to plow through a fucking swamp of noise to get to it.
get it. Everyone's an individual, but you start with the gender roles, right? You start with the basics.
Yeah.
Hey kid, you're a boy. This is what boys do. And maybe he's not into sports. I was never into sports as a kid, I'm a very physical guy, but I think sports ball is ridiculous. So, my dad, he bought me a catcher's mitt, and that was great. I'm very glad he did that, right? And so sports wasn't into me. He didn't force me to like it. That's fine.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe there's a girl. Girls tend to like, I don't know, tea parties and dolls and whatever. But maybe some of them are into sports.
And that should be fine too.
Yeah, exactly. And nobody was ever saying you have to be this way. But that 1%, the controllers, they acted like the framework, right? Because when you're building a house, well, this isn't how you do it, but imagine for a moment, you're building a house, first you create a whole frame, then you build the house inside the frame. And you use the frame to guide you, but you can have exceptions. Instead, no, we're all going to be exceptions. We're going to throw out the framework entirely, and now none of us know what we're doing. And, most people just want to come home, have a beer, watch something funny, and spend time with their family.
Oh, God, come on,
The
get to
definition
it.
of normal is that most people are it.
Are normal, yeah. So do you want to be normal?
Well, here's the thing. Most people are normal on most things.
You want to be most people?
Well, we are most people on most things. What makes us individuals is we have that one thing where we're weird, right? We all have that one exception.
You don't want to be the 20%. You don't want to be the exceptions.
What I'm saying is that 80% of me,
Jeff Bezos is not.
God, shut up, woman.
he's not most people in one way. He is most people in most ways,
Okay.
right? That's what I'm saying. All of us are average in most ways. I'm average in that I like a cup of coffee in the morning. I also like you to shut the fuck up in the morning until I've had my cup of coffee. That's extremely normal.
I see what you're saying. Makes
Right?
sense.
And then I'm a weirdo that puts on military equipment and goes and climbs up mountains and hunts Bigfoot, But in most ways, I'm normal.
That gets fisted in a bathhouse.
Good. Like somebody.
Is there like
Allegedly.
a certain like the
While
top
wearing
three
military
categories
boots.
that are the most important?
Oh,
the
God,
most
no.
normal. Like, is it like for a man? Okay, so I'm gonna say for a man, being most normal, masculine, to me would be to protect, right? Like the ability, like courage, like shit. There's danger, and somehow you're able to focus and get this shit and try to handle this situation. You can still even die out of it, and that still would be manly and courageous. I think that is one of the categories that you want to beat most people in. If you're a man, like if you're not, it's a little.
She
difficult
better not
because
talk in the morning.
what
That's right, Chad.
players, in most cases,
Or the
is
afternoon, for that
being
matter.
protected because
Or the evening.
in general, and not as fast, not as strong, not as everything. So it's like if
Basically
you
not ever.
be scared of the situation, and then you want me to handle it, then I don't really need you.
Oh God. Well, you know,
And
this is one of the really poisonous stereotypes that the media promotes.
Which
Yeah.
one?
The Rick and Morty did a great example where there was some crazy hobo with a knife,
Mhm.
and so the husband ran and hid inside the car, locking the door, and left his wife to deal with the hobo. And that's. I'm not saying guys like that don't exist. I'm saying they're pretty.
Okay.
Yeah, they're pretty rare,
I mean, okay,
right?
so this example you're giving is a very, I mean, it's an exaggeration, but I can tell you that I used to live in California, in Oakland, and the first time
Oh,
I
goodness.
was there, I went on a date with this guy, and so Oakland, depending on where you're at, it could be a little tricky and dangerous. He drove me to
Do
a
AJ
bar,
still run the city?
but like, so he drove me to this bar, and as we got out of the bar, I said, "Oh, is this the bad part of the city?" He's like, "Yeah." So like, you know, if ever there's an issue, like, you know, like I don't know, like we're gonna have to work together.
Well,
He said something like that, and I was like, I don't think this is what you want to tell me as a woman as we're in the night as we're crossing a street in like a dark alley in Oakland, California. Like this is not. There's no confidence in that. Now I'm scared because you're scared. And I've been on dates where the guys were like short and they were like the toughest guys out there. Like, yo,
Okay, that's what I was
I'm
going
gonna
to
mess
say.
somebody up if they're trying to. And that to me is like, yeah, do it. Meaning like protect us with everything you got. It doesn't matter if you win or lose. I mean, I would like you to win. So
Yes, Chad,
better
she
if
is
you
the
got hands
worst
up.
co-host.
like,
But use
be
what you
them.
got.
Yeah.
And so that's what I was going to say. This is a philosophical failing, a moral failing. Now, let's take a guy that's disadvantaged when it comes to physical combat. He's 5'6". He's not super courageous or aggressive or anything like that. That's a guy that most guys could beat up. All right. Now we get the strategy part of things. Right? I did a video ages back, guys, called "How to Win Every Fight You're In," and like the short answer is don't start fights you can't win.
That's a good point.
Like, do you know? Name me an MMA fighter that ever. Ed Hardy.
Sure.
He has those faggy T-shirts.
Mhm.
You know how I'd win a fight with Ed Hardy?
Oh.
While he's sleeping, I'd slit his throat. Right?
Jesus.
It's strategy.
He could beat me in a fist fight.
Mhm.
I guarantee you I'm a better shot than he is, and he wouldn't even see me before I shot him.
Yeah, it's the strategy you're talking about.
This
If
is
you're
not a
a
normal
guy
line of
that's-
conversation.
Easy to intimidate. Okay. Make some money, get good security. Like, you set things
Okay,
up.
so I'm going to say something a little different.
Oh, no, and this just like this guy that you went with. He's a total little weenie, and he's going to walk into the bad part of town? Dude, don't go to the bad part of town if you can't.
That's exactly the point. Like, so why are you bringing me here if you can't even assure? Like, so that means that I have to watch my back. Like, I can. Like, I'm not like my daddy taught me. Like, I can, but I'm just saying that.
What is this squeaking noise?
Like, what the-
Don't take
I mean,
it
aside from-
where you need to rely
Aside from his girlfriend, it sounds like there's a fucking hamster wheel in the background.
on the cops to protect you.
It's like, who does that? I don't know. I can't do that. And then what I was gonna say about smaller guys.
I think maybe it's birds chirping in the background or something, but as I'm desperately trying to tune out the sound of her voice, I'm picking up other sounds.
People that are not necessarily physically, I don't know how to say it.
It's not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size of the fight in the dog!
And that's what I was gonna say. To me, it's more about it's exactly that. It's exactly what I was gonna say. If like small guys can protect women too, like they're still stronger than us.
Here's the thing, nobody.
I've never dated a
If
guy
the
that was
small
smaller
guy,
than me.
the small guy's like, yeah, you could kick my ass, but I'm gonna bite your ear off.
Exactly.
Okay, maybe it's not worth my
But it's not
time.
even that. Like I've seen some small guys that are they're still really strong. So it's like I don't know. I don't have a problem with that. I'm just saying.
Oh, and don't
have the
talk
courage
shit.
to protect.
Don't talk shit. Guys don't talk shit.
Have the courage to protect as a man. Have that quality. That's the point I was trying to have. Because again.
Now at the
if
same
the
time,
goal is to
guys,
reduce, right?
if your bitch is running her mouth, she ain't your bitch no more. Like that Sarah Silverman scene from Way of the Gun.
What? Yeah.
If I had a girl, I was out on a date with a girl, she's like,
Yeah, you're a faggot. My boyfriend did you.
ain't my girlfriend, dude. You want to punch her in the face? You go right ahead, pal. I got no beef with you.
To punch a woman in the face.
If my girlfriend ran her mouth, I'd declare she's not my girlfriend and let somebody beat her up. Okay. But based, I guess. I don't know.
she's running her mouth. If she's trying to get me into a fist fight with that guy because she thinks it would be sexy, nah, babe. I'm sorry. I can go buy some pussy for less than the medical bills that will come out of this fight.
I think that to me, the real tough response.
I mean, I don't really disagree with him. Like, if you're dating a woman that like fucking tries to get you in fights, you should probably not date her. That's probably bad. I'm not gonna disagree with him there.
Would be ignoring the comment, because that's the hardest thing.
But when the girl is provoking him.
So I'm saying, like, you get provoked. Like, if somebody tells me, like, hey, look, listen, if somebody insulted me.
Well, no, if a guy's out with a woman,
yeah,
and his woman insults me, I'm gonna look at him and say, buddy, shut her fucking mouth before I come and start her head.
Why would you do that?
Because a woman has no business mouthing off a guy.
Now here's where he's getting fucking stupid, in my opinion. If a woman insulted him, he would look at the guy and say, shut her fucking mouth before I start her head. Now remember just earlier he was talking about don't run your mouth, don't fucking pick fights for no fucking reason, which is good advice. Now it's the other reason. Now he's getting into the territory of a dindu who's going to go to jail because someone stepped on his puma. If a woman insults me in public, I will beat her up, and the guy. This gets really retarded really fast.
And it's like, buddy, if you can't get your woman in line, first I'm going to kick your ass, then I'm going to kick her ass.
It's too much violence.
Then shut her up.
It's too much violence. I mean,
If you don't want violence,
yeah,
don't insult people.
I understand, but violence would not happen.
Okay, this is how a middle schooler thinks. Like, look, generally, it is not a good idea to insult people. Okay, fine. But the idea that somebody called you a faggot, so you're now justified in beating them up, is retarded. Okay, that's how a middle schooler thinks. That's how a high schooler thinks. That's how a street dindu thinks. Okay? And if you're sitting here listening to this fucking advice right now, you'll ruin your life. Okay? It doesn't make you cool or masculine or alpha or manly or Chad or any other fucking buzzword that you ruined your life because somebody pissed you off at a bar. And that's what you'll do if you fucking get into bar fights, okay? I want you to picture something, chat. Let's say you're not like Davis. You're not a fucking loser. You have things to lose, right? Say you have a good job. And you're out Saturday night, right? And some cunt, some fucking Karen, is running her mouth at you, right? And, you could just ignore it. You could be like, shut up, bitch. You could, tell the bartender, she's causing a scene. Can you do something about that? Get security involved. You could do any fucking thing like that. But instead, you declare that you will beat her up and her boyfriend up. And then you get in a fucking fight. And then you get fucking arrested. All right? And then because you threw the first fucking punch, you're going to fucking jail. You're going to spend some time in jail. Probably not a lot of time. But enough time you're probably going to lose your job. Maybe lose your place. Whatever, your apartment or whatever. Maybe fuck your life into the dirt. Over what? Yeah. There's a line in a little rap song, maybe my homie'd still be alive if I not hit the nigga in the mouth that time. That's a stupid way to live your life. All right? You will ruin your life following his advice right now. And a lot of you probably have things to fucking lose. Unlike Davis. I mean, if you're fucking Davis, then yeah, I guess go fucking nuts. Who cares, But no, I'm gonna. This is why I wanted to comment on it, and there's more here. But this is terrible fucking advice. Okay, yeah, it sounds badass and cool. Okay, but you don't fucking assault somebody because he called you a faggot or something in public. You don't do that. All right. It is not justified, and it's not legally justified. You will fuck your life up following this advice. I'm not kidding. All right, you don't think this is some dumb fucking 14-year-old bullshit, okay? Arjun says there's a 0% chance he's ever done this. Well, yeah, there's that. He's full of shit. Granted. But I'm speaking to the people that might actually hear this and think it's a good idea. It's fucking not. Okay? You know, fucking sticks and stones, all right? They insulted me, so I'm gonna go to jail because somebody insulted me. That's retarded. All right? That's childish. That's how a fucking street dindu thinks. Don't do that.
Even if you ignored it, it's like a baby. It's just attention seeking. These women that
I would walk over
attention seeking.
and
baby
take
that
her
starts
beer
crying
and pour it on her head.
To manipulate you.
You
stop
wouldn't do
looking at
that, no.
baby. At some point, the baby would be like, ah, well, okay. Like, it looks like she's not bothered. I'm not saying like when they need to feed, to eat and
Now-
whatever. But
No, if she is
manipulation.
going beak, 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 beak,
If you notice,
as a
it's
guy, you
manipulation.
walk over, first you ask the man to shut his woman up. Right? It's his job to shut her up. If she's his woman,
So he's the one that's at.
and if he says she's not my woman, this is our first date. All right, then you take her beer, pour it on her head. Shut up, Rib.
I don't think I should promote that behavior.
And then you get thrown out of the bar.
I mean,
Here's the-
okay,
like, women-
so this
Or
is
you get
like-
arrested.
I'm
You
going-
dumb
I'm more
fuck.
like a Pacific way of dealing with shit, and in last resort, then you go with violence. But I'm not one of those I'm like a martial artist. Like, I believe in that philosophy of like conservation.
I'm
But-
sure
But the
she's a
best
martial
defense
artist.
is a good offense. If you put out there right now, and it works for some people, all right? Guys like me, it works for. It's like, listen.
No,
here's the
it doesn't
rules. I
work
don't
for
wanna
you,
fight.
Davis.
I just want to enjoy my beer. But you're not letting me enjoy my beer. Start respecting the rules and behaving civilized, or we have problems. Can you be civilized? No? Okay, time to teach you about civilization. Bada boom. Have you learned a lesson now? Okay, return to my beer.
I mean,
No, this never happens, by the
I
way.
get your approach.
As much as I'm sitting here and saying that do not follow this advice, and once again I reiterate, do not fucking follow this advice. You will ruin your life over petty, stupid bullshit. But he does not do this, just so we're clear. Alright, he doesn't do this. Alright. Because first of all, his dumb ass would have been dead or in jail by now if he did. Okay? He says he does that to impress the 10 idiots that follow him online, but he does not do this. Okay? And neither should you.
I just don't think that the approach that it really works.
Well, but we need guys. That's the thing. Is
Like, I mean, like, if somebody's gonna protect me and some shit is happening, I need you to have all the energy in the world to protect me when that's happening.
Well,
If you're gonna be wasting it on some little girl insulting you, like, that you don't even know, goddamn, man, we're never gonna finish this shit.
No,
We're
this is
all gonna
important.
die.
because it's completely out of line for women to go around insulting men like that.
But like, we talked about.
And so if I allow this in my environment, if I allow this in my city,
By the way, I also want to reiterate that he is going on about how he would not take shit from a woman, despite 49 minutes and 4 seconds so far of documented proof of him taking shit from a woman who is physically in the same room as him, giving him shocking quantities of shit in front of an audience. And he has the lack of self-awareness to proclaim how strongly he would not take shit from a woman. So there's two things I want to comment on here. Number one, do not follow his advice. It is stupid. You will wreck your life over petty, stupid bullshit. And you will be sitting in jail wishing you had just walked away. And you will get out of jail and your life will be seriously butt-fucking derailed. And you will wish you just walked away. Number two, he is going on and on about how he wouldn't take shit from a woman, despite nearly 50 minutes of taking shit from a woman.
she is going to cause untold number of problems,
No,
and
no.
so
If you ignore her, it's going to diminish her power because everybody's interested in this shit and like putting it on Twitter and on Instagram and all this shit because look at what that woman said. Like now you're just making this shit happen.
no. We need to stop being bitches. And if somebody's cutting in line at the grocery store,
Uh-huh.
buddy, back there. right?
You don't have to say it that way.
Yeah, I
You
do.
say, hey, yo, man, there was a warning. In front of you. Now you
High
can
test-
escalate it to wherever you want to escalate it, but like give people a chance to just.
No, here's the funny thing. Did you know that?
During COVID-19 at the superstore.
Good God, I hate to side with her, but yeah, don't fucking escalate.
25 times, and I just bought it. I didn't because there was so many people everywhere.
Oh, I
didn't
cut in line.
understand.
I walked in the
cut
store and said,
line,
what are you
but I
going to
didn't
do about it?
And the people behind me were so fucking.
This
mad.
piece of
And-
shit just talked about how, oh, when somebody cuts in line, you go, hey, buddy, back of the line. And now he's like, oh, I cut in line. What are you going to do about it? This, first of all, no, he doesn't. Second of all, this, like, he thinks acting like a sociopath makes him look tough.
They called like security or some shit, and I was like, yo, oh shit, there's a line behind. I didn't even know. But I'm like, guys, and I apologize to the people who's going. I wasn't even trying to cut in line. I didn't realize that the line was starting like outside the fight.
And yeah, this dumb gash has a point. Like, generally speaking,
It's a learning
you don't
See, here's the thing.
escalate
We should not
shit for no
allow
reason.
Our politicians to bully us like this. There's no reason to be waiting in line to go into the stupid store. So I cut in line. When they tried to stop me, I said, what are you going to do about it? This is a bullshit rule. If these people want to be bullied by the politicians, that's up to them. But I'm going in. Are you going to stop me? Are you going to commit assault on me? No? Okay. Well, I'm going in then. And you got to show the paper dragon for what it is. Now, somebody... That's the thing. It's not got a moral justification for this, right? If somebody's... here's the funny thing I was going to tell you. Guys with high testosterone are
Like you,
not more
Dennis.
likely to do something aggressive. They are not more aggressive than anybody else. But they are more likely to call out rule breakers. That's why you want the high T guys around. Like high T guys usually don't get into fights because, well, like all mammals, we
Are
have
like high
ritualized.
T people like alpha guys?
Hmm.
It's the same thing.
Like Angie and I are pretty high T.
Okay, so I just want to understand. So
Davis is
say
very
alpha
high
guys
T, folks.
Have high testosterone.
Yes,
Very
as
high
opposed to
T.
like little skinny
Sure.
soy boy
Sure,
types.
sure, sure. I just want to understand how you're defining it.
Super
Or
high
literally
T.
guys with high testosterone.
I mean, I understand, but I also that would mean all alphas. 'Cause
All alphas have high
I mean, like
testosterone. Yeah.
80%, whatever, yeah. Yeah, okay. I just want to understand where you're going with this conversation. Because what I believe an alpha is a person that conserves their energy. Like a person,
Well-
a guy that doesn't need to fight. Like a
Yeah,
guy
here's the thing, why am I-
he doesn't need to fight because one, people are a little bit afraid of him because he's a little big. Two, and if he's not big, people are afraid of him because of his aura, his energy. Like it's still freaking people out. Or three, and then three would be the fact that he knows how good he is, and he realizes like there's no point of me like hurting you. Like,
I hate to-
if
I hate to
I'm
give the
not
bitch-
sure that I
Imagine-
mess you up.
I hate to give the bitch credit, but she has a bit of a point, and she's really dumb. She can't express it, but I even hate to use the terms because they're a bit cartoonish. But a real quote unquote alpha is not somebody who would start a bar fight because somebody called him a faggot and wreck his life and lose his job and possibly his apart whatever. Because that would be really, really fucking stupid. And he wouldn't be so insecure that he would feel the need to prove his manhood at the cost of destroying his fucking life. So she has a bit of a point there. I'll give her that. She is a blithering retard and can't really express it, but I'll give her that.
That's just stress and whatever. But
Now imagine
it's confidence.
what sort of woman would be mouthing me off. Usually lesbians, right?
Sure.
But so first of all, now lesbians wind up murdering children all the freaking time. Animal Kingdom, real life, they are. God, like listen, I'm not trying to be cruel.
There's a lot of lesbians in the animal kingdom. Is
They
that...
tend to destroy everything they're around.
Okay, so hopefully you don't have any lesbian audience.
No, I don't.
Interesting.
Chat,
I
that's
mean,
right,
I mean,
Chat.
I'm
The
not-
alpha
I'm
thing to
not
do would be
hating
just laugh at
But
the
there's a
guy.
correlation there. There's.
You're hating on lesbians.
I'm not hating on them. I'm making an observation that rather than
That's right, Chat. And trust me, there's a lot of people out there that cannot take fucking being laughed at.
nurturing things, they tend to choke the life out of things.
So choking the life, that's killing, choking the life. I mean, you kind of have a high judgment of them by saying that.
It's
not just
an
an observation.
accurate statement.
So you're saying that they actually.
That's like saying I have high.
You can't measure that.
Am I being judgmental for saying only 35% of women are more disagreeable than the average?
No, I mean, that's a
If you look
Oh,
at domestic
God.
violence rates, it's through the roof with lesbians.
women that became lesbian after that. Like, oh,
No, I'm saying that
in a lesbian relationship.
beat the crap out of each other all the time.
Oh.
If they're allowed to adopt children, they murder them at very, very high
Okay, so
rates.
I didn't know there were actual statistics around.
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Okay, so well, I can't debate that because I have no idea.
Domestic violence is extremely low with homosexuals, but promiscuity and child sexual abuse is through the roof. Lesbians tend not to abuse children so much they murder them.
Okay, I don't know what to say about that because I don't know any of that topic.
So what I'm getting at is that if a woman is shouting insults to men in public for no reason, she is completely
Low class.
violating the social contract.
She's low class.
Well, and what do you do with low class people at your bar? No, you eject them from your bar because you want to have a nice bar.
Sure, I'm sorry. Like, so it's, yeah.
Yes, Davis, but it's not
It
your
is my
bar,
bar.
okay? It's not your bar. No, it's not your bar because you go there, okay? It's the responsibility of the people that own the bar. So it might be worth going to the owner and saying, hey, this person's shitting the place up. You think you can throw them out? But no, you don't have a fucking fist fight because somebody pissed you off at a bar. Once again, I can't reiterate how stupid that is. All right? Well, that person deserves to get punched in the face. They probably fucking do, okay? You want to be a martyr for that cause and destroy your fucking life for that? To make sure they get that punch in the face? Because that's what you're likely to do. This isn't school anymore, okay? You don't just get fucking suspended for a day when you fight. Alright? You go to fucking jail more often than not. Sometimes a cop's cool if nobody's really hurt. He's like, yeah, both of you get the fuck out of here. Maybe he gives you a citation for disorderly conduct or something. But a lot of times, you go to fucking jail. And you might lose your fucking job as a result. Because your job's not going to just wait for you to come back when you spend 30 days in fucking jail. They usually fire you. So no, it's Davis is the fucking vigilante over here, which he literally says, by the way, here in a minute. He's gonna fucking enforce justice.
Your bar, yeah. If you own
This
the
is my bar.
that's
This is
different.
my
That's-
country. This is my city.
Yeah, but this,
If you go around Calgary acting like a dirtbag, and I see it, I'm gonna put a stop to that. So, hey, buddy, you're not being a dirtbag, are you? Because I'm gonna stop it if you are.
No, you're not, Davis.
Okay, I mean,
I'm not calling the cops about this. I'm gonna deal with it, then hand you over to them, Spider-Man style. You get a lot less people causing trouble when you got guys like
He's
me.
fucking Spider-Man. Okay, you know, Spider-Man wears a mask because if he didn't, he would get fucking sued and arrested. And also, I just want to reiterate, and I pointed this out before, I get shit from him from reading comics because that's immature, and this idiot literally thinks he's fucking Spider-Man, alright? He thinks he's a fucking vigilante who's going to clean up his town, alright? He thinks he's fucking Batman. Oh, and his friends worship Thor, so there's that too.
Around.
but is that even legal?
Yes, I know. I know where the line of legal is.
Okay, well, most people don't, so, like, it's not encouraging.
I've done nothing but military and security for most of my life.
No, Davis, you've done nothing for most of your life, is the reality. Okay, let's be real. You didn't ever work security. You're full of shit. I press X to doubt on that. Motherfucker can't hold down a job for more than a year.
That's what you're about.
Well, and guys, you should know these. My audience knows they need to know this stuff. You need to study how to use weapons. You should have no favorite weapons. Study all weapons. You should study the laws. You should know the limits. Do not.
Yes, you should study how to use weapons. Like, like Davis did before he made the film, Lost in the Time Arctic. Davis, I've seen you play fucking Ninja Turtles with your buddies in a field, okay? You don't know how to use weapons.
Not try and rescue people from themselves. If you got Buddy and his girlfriend that are always beating the crap out of each other, get them out of your neighborhood. Don't fix them. It's not your. Don't fix them. Just get them out of your neighborhood, right?
Well, I have a slightly different opinion, but I kind of understand where that comes from. Like, I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like,
You can't save people from themselves.
You cannot control people. But I find that even when you push people away from your neighborhood,
He's acting like he's fucking Frank Castle. Like he's fucking Death Wish or like Charles Bronson in Death
If need be, burn
Wish.
down their neighborhood.
I mean, like this, I'm saying that
And
like, most people that will
he's gonna
push you
clean
out
up the
are
streets.
also not that.
Meanwhile, he can't. He's getting shit from some fucking Mexican chick. This is unreal.
Courageous, I think personally. So
The best defense is a good offense. Right when stuff starts going weird, that's when you step in and say, hey, what's going on here? Is something bad going on? Is something I need to deal with?
But it's like in The Walking Dead, right? That's
Oh, I'm intimidated, Davis.
Too many seasons, but
Chat, you better hold me because I'm scared.
Plans and stuff, like the type of questions they ask, and then everybody's on the watch for these newcomers. Like, yo, they gotta fit into this culture. And so I feel like for societies and groups or whatever, if the person comes into your group and they don't fit the group culture, you gotta call it out. Say, yo, this group, we do this.
That's right, Chad. The Edge. Al the Edge.
You're not gonna be with that. There's other communities out
He's a
there
pizza
that
cutter. All edge, no point.
The importance of cultures. I think that's how we learn to trust, because I know how you understand things, and I know how, and you know how I understand things, because they're similar.
That's right, Chad. Instead of cleaning up the streets, he should clean up his liver.
Is silly.
Here's the thing. One of the critiques of Walking Dead is that so much tragedy could have been saved if... His name's not Grimes, is it? I always want to say Frank Grimes.
No, Rick.
Rick. If Rick had just... if he abandoned the concept of democracy and fair play and all that trash, and just dominated as warlord, my way or the highway, so many lives would have been saved. And that was his fault, that he kept trying to be the, oh, America, Bill of Rights, human rights.
I thought you were Christian.
Oh, yeah.
Now I'm a little confused. Like,
so
he's trying to do the right thing.
I'm a Catholic, medievalist, monarchist.
Okay, so
I want a Pinochet in charge.
Okay.
You know the communists? You know, they say.
This is unreal. Like,
Oops, I need to remember this.
What they say.
God. Like, he usually has his fantasies about how he should run society. Now he's having his fantasies about he's gonna be the vigilante, and yet he criticizes people for just watching Marvel movies and stuff like that, because that's all dumb. Just kind of go get the bad guy and all. These movies are dumb. But he thinks that his life is that. He thinks he's fucking Frank Castle. It's just Charles Bronson and Death Wish over here. He thinks, like, this is sad. This is unbelievably sad. Catholics don't believe in rights, more or less. That's right, Chad. At least most of the trad Catholics, I would argue Catholicism doesn't support the concept of rights. It never has. Christianity does, but not Catholicism. But the trad Catholics definitely, they don't. There's a reason why a country like America would never have been founded by Catholics. This awesome fucking country with its flag on the moon. Oh, God. We went on for about an hour and a half, folks. I think I'm going to put a pin in this, because this is as far as I wanted to go. I just wanted to get the... I wanted to get Ari going on about how he's the Punisher, and I did want to address the shit he was saying about, you know, the fucking Dindu shit. If somebody steps on your Puma, pull out your Glock. You know, like, it's just insanely stupid. That's right. It's Supreme Sigma. If I'd been in charge of society, the zombie apocalypse would have never happened. Somebody says, Beckloff, thank you for the laugh. I can't go no more either. Well, I do have some other shit I gotta do. And you know, there's some other stuff I want to do. Like, I just got a Daredevil game for the Game Boy Advance. It's actually the only Daredevil game they ever made. They were gonna make a full 3D one on the PS2, but it got canceled. It's sort of based on the movie, the Ben Affleck movie, but not really. It takes more from the comic book. And it's just a sort of platformer beat 'em up. Really good. And I kind of just want to play some more of it. Next time I stream, I might I have an emulator on here that plays Game Boy Advance games. I still really hate playing it with the keyboard, and they don't always register the fucking controller I have. So he says, I love Daredevil, the game on GBA. It's pretty good. It's a real shame that PS2 one got canceled. It was actually, I had never heard of it coming out, but like years and years ago, years after the fact, I was, looking at an old back issue. This would have been like 2010 or something. you know, and I see like a Daredevil game, you know, like an ad for it, a full fucking ad, and there's screenshots and shit. I'm like, I never heard of this. And then I look up online, it had never come out. It was canceled. But they would have been cool. I don't even think a ROM ever leaked or something. It looked like it was mostly finished. Keyboard sucks for emulator. I can't play games on a keyboard. It's fucking gay. Just give me a controller. But I do get some Game Boy Advance games and stuff I might play on here at some point. I might play a little Godzilla Domination. That's a fun game. That is a fun game. Go ahead and get out of that. Fuck it. He thinks he's fucking Batman. It's just unreal. I mean, I joked about it a while back. Remember when he broke up with his girlfriend because she got in the way of his mission? No, Selena, Gotham needs me. But, like... Forney says if someone follows Irini's advice and gets arrested, they could sue him. I mean, what are you going to sue Davis for? The fuck are you going to take his skull? Like, he doesn't have anything. Alright, chat. Well, I think that's about it for tonight. Like I said, I got some shit to do, and I got some shit I want to do. So, I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did enjoy the show, you can support the show. Send a donation on paypal.me/Beckloff. Or send a Streamlabs donation when I'm not live, and I'll see it when I am live, and go ahead and comment on it. Streamlabs.com/Beckloff. And that's about it for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening.